Okay, hello, what's up there, friendos? Welcome back to the channel, and it's your boy Matt. And to start off, before we get into the Marvel Future Fight content for today, just wanted to talk about this multiverse invasion event. As you can see on the forums, there is an event going on where if you post a screenshot of reaching Battle Point 3, which I think is 150,000 points, or 1.5 million, one or the other, and you leave your name and the little code word and you give the screenshot, you can get some CCF, not some CCF, some TCP and some EOD. But I'm not blaming any of the people who are actually doing this. It's a little hard to read, but if you leave it as a reply here, like all of these people have done, you're not going to get your rewards. The way they've worded it is I don't know if it's a translation error, but you actually need to not leave it as a reply. But if you go to the events at the bottom, you can see here Multiverse Invasion Challenge, and you have to actually specifically go into here and then leave it. So just a public service announcement, as it was, a PSA, just to let you know that that's where you need to be leaving your multiverse invasion pictures. Today, we're actually going to be talking about CTPs. We're not going to be talking about multiverse invasion at all. But as you can see, I've already done mine for today. But if you actually look, where is it? Ah, here we go. Yeah. So stage 3, you can see once you've got 150. Is that 150? Well, no, 1.5. Once you've got 1.5 million between the three of you, take a screenshot, post it to that specific board, the Multiverse Invasion event board. Don't put it as a reply in order to get your rewards, because I don't want to see anyone miss out. So anyway, as you can see, when Doctor Strange got his new uniform, we took off his CTP of authority. We took off Thanos' mighty destruction, because to be honest, it wasn't doing as good once everyone else started putting authorities and regens on their Thanos. And to be fair, his use in PvE is not as great as I originally had intended or hoped it to be. So I figured, might as well take off the mighty destruction. You can see it there. We'll give him an authority and we'll reforge that authority. Now, I have seen some people who obviously know what they're doing and are happy to share that with the community, other content creators. I've seen a lot of people who haven't made specific videos about this. So I really wanted to just sort of show a couple of do's and don'ts, because when you're re-rolling just from a normal authority, which we've got here, to a mighty, you do not need to use anything else. You can see here, you could like add in your refinement or patience or transcendence or other authorities. It ain't going to make the slightest bit of difference to getting a mighty, okay? Getting a mighty is the easiest reforging you can do. You only need to add in that one other. The super success rate is the odds of you getting it straight to brilliant. Okay, so if you really feel, oh, luck's with me, I'm going to go straight for a brilliant, then by all means do. But you're most likely just going to get a mighty. So the easiest thing is just to add in that one extra, and boom, we have a mighty. And okay, we got the highest amount in all attacks and all defenses, but it's not really what we want. So for that, we can just change the option, and you can use the extreme boost obelisks, or you just your normal obelisks, and you can re-roll it. And okay, we didn't get what we wanted there, just all attack and all defense. Obviously, if we're using Thanos for PvP, we want to be getting the steel special option. So we're just going to keep rolling here. Hopefully it won't take too long. Hey, and there we go. Okay, decreases all damage by 25%. So for a mighty, that's pretty good. I believe the highest stat, the max stat info, I believe it's 30%. Yeah, 30%. So 25% is pretty good. We don't really care about the crit damage because he's already pretty much maxed out on crit damage anyway. What's important is getting the invincible for 5 seconds and the increase of all attacks for 5 seconds. So we have that. So yeah, re-rolling to a mighty is easy. as long as you've got just that one other. If you've got two CTPs, it's the easiest thing in the world to turn that into one mighty. Okay, and then like I say, you can either use normal obelisks or you can use the condensed extreme obelisks to re-roll the option until you get what you want. Piece of cake. Okay, and some people think, oh well, if that's a piece of cake, then it'll be the same for a brilliant. Yeah, you just pop in another one and then re-roll, and it's a brilliant. If only that was the case. I've seen a lot of people lose. You can see here we do have a brilliant on Logan, and that option isn't the best, but as you can see, re-rolling from a mighty to brilliant is a whole nother league again. You can see the max stats for a brilliant, you can get steel, decreases damage up to 60%, which is amazing, and then you can get 8 seconds of invincible and all attack up by 8% of accumulated damage. But unfortunately, it does take a lot more effort, and this is where you actually have to be not so much more of a whale, but you certainly have to have more resources. If you just do one more, thinking it's going to work like a mighty, I'll show you here. Boom, nothing. It does not work the same way. Okay, the super success, the ultra success, or whatever, that's a bit of a misnomer in terms of from normal to mighty, mighty to brilliant. It's always the same way. You have to expend the resources in order to get a brilliant. And I've seen a lot of people who, and I'm just doing that, I've just wasted a CTP of authority there just to demonstrate it to other people, because I don't want anyone to make that mistake. I see a lot of people do it, and I know that some of the bigger content creators haven't really made specified videos for CTP reforging, which is maybe why some people are going wrong. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to take the hit, I'm going to do it, because I only use so many characters anyway in PvP. You know, I don't do Alliance tournament or anything like that. I only do timeline battle, so I can afford to. I actually have a greed on my Spider-Man. So this is how you turn it into a brilliant. You have to use, this is where you have to go for the super success rate. Super success, whether it's a normal CTP or a mighty, that's the rate at which you can get a brilliant. And that's the only way you can get a brilliant. You have to use your other CTPs here. So this is where your fodder CTPs, your patience, your transcendence, your refinements, the ones that you're not going to use or only going to put on a character to clear a Shadowland stage. This is where they come into handy. And yeah, that's where it's going to start costing you, because once you've got a mighty, you can see here we've got a mighty destruction on Apocalypse, and we've got the brilliant on Logan here. This is where you really want, that's going to be where you're getting the end game content. This is where you're getting the real niche amounts, and you can only re-roll the brilliance with a CTP. As you can see here, the extreme obelisk option is gone. You have to use a CTP to re-roll, and it can get costly. It can get very costly, which is why my Logan only has a steal at that rate and not at the maximum 60%, because it took me quite a few of the fodder CTPs, and that was the best I could do. So that is why a mighty CTP is really no problem at all. Okay, so don't get too hung up on re-rolling for a mighty. I'm just going to collect my rewards because I haven't done that since I woke up. Just grab some energy here because I need to run my dispatch missions today for the event quest. I know you can actually get some CTPs in a drop, but the RNG rates, they don't say what the rates are, but I can imagine they're pretty low, because when I was doing all those events to try and get other items, in the thousands of dispatch missions I ran, I didn't get any. You see, when we were going for the lunar snow events. So yeah, you can get rid of all your lower obelisks or re-roll them all to make the extremes, and then turning normal CCP into the mighty that you want. Pretty straightforward, as long as you've got those extreme obelisks, whether it's the 6-star or you have them in the boost, because you know you're condensing your space down. That's fine. By all means, go ahead and do that. But you only want to be spending more than one CTP when re-rolling from a mighty to a brilliant. And I think that is where a lot of people have lost a lot of CTPs, because they've put in straight from the off thinking that they're going to get it, and then they go, oh, it's just a mighty. But you don't need to do that for a mighty. It's only when you're trying to get a brilliant. So the mighty destruction, because it's damage to boss types, I'm actually going to put that onto Doctor Strange. I know that a rage is probably going to be better for him, but we only have the one rage, and at the moment I just want to see how he actually goes with the destruction. So I think I'm going to put that on him. I'm going to do some testing, not in this video, I don't want to keep it going for too long here. And we're going to see how he gets on with that, and if he's any good, then I shall show you the results. And as for Thanos, well, we did the mighty CTP, and it didn't really go how we wanted it to go, so that's a bit of a shame. But considering the fact that most people have probably clicked off by now, and if you have, thanks for watching anyway, bye bye, see you next time. But for those of you who have stuck around still, you know what, I'm just going to go for it with that last CTP of authority, because I don't really need it, and I don't really need a transcendence or a refinement. There's no point getting a mighty transcendence and sticking it on anyone. So we might as well just go ahead and try and push that mighty to a brilliant and see what happens. I'm not going to guarantee that it is going to work, but hey, why not have a go? So we'll get rid of the refinement, we'll get rid of the 2 patience because they're just sat there, and we'll get rid of the transcendence as well. And okay, so the success rate is up 21%, and let's see how we get on. Is it going to work? No. Oh well, at least the steel went up to maximum 30% as opposed to the 25. So, yippee for that, I guess. But no brilliant. But that's where you need to be spending it. Anyway, till next time, take care. Bye for now.